Creator's Child presents Success Hacks during the solar eclipse. About 5 days before and 5 days after the solar eclipse, it's wise not to take critical decisions, especially if you're a man or a woman in an important position with alpha power. And why, you ask? Well, because most solar eclipses change the functioning of the solar plexus chakra and the abdomen chakra. Now, obviously, if we're talking about power, there will be massive changes to political scenarios. Yes, the solar eclipse will trigger even greater power shifts everywhere. In most other places, it'll be far more subtler, but the eclipse is not all negative. It has a positive. Also allows us to see loopholes in the system. There will be a great change initiated in legal systems across the world, where the power of judges are more clearly decided. The solar eclipse phase will also see a certain degree of heightened sunstorm activity. It'll affect a number of different, for example, the stock market, especially the US stock market, will behave a little oddly. This will be significant. The patterns of water around the Antarctica will show a certain degree of turbulence. Sea current patterns will begin to shift. Yes, worrying. There will be strong gravitational pulls. We see a lot of the strains of the pulls happening around Tibet, Atlantic Sea. Why do solar eclipses have power that goes well beyond a certain degree of fear or change in animal behavior? The shift in alignments of planets makes a difference to the way the Earth's core turns, the change of its tides, the wrench and pull on the Earth's crust. But to really understand eclipse power, we need to look at it with spiritual eyes. We borrowed the eyes of an energy being that lives beyond the world. Through its eyes, we see that the sun, moon, stars, the very galaxy itself, and human beings no longer appear in the way that we see it, but it appears as broad, vast patterns. And the elements like the sun and the moon are not things that sit up in the sky, but are things that pervade the world. And so the nodes and of the matrix in which we live in begin to shift. So, for example, typically during the eclipse fortnight, energy matrix that we live in becomes even more malleable, even more energized. Some pointers of what you can do during this solar eclipse. Most useful mudra gives clarity. Take your two middle fingers, hold them like this, and now bring them together and enmesh the rest of your fingers. That's simple. Now this, as most know, are fingers of Saturn. And by holding it like this, before you take a decision, means that you will halt your decisions and think it through much more clearly. This solar eclipse gives an advanced spiritual opportunity this time, and the Shaktis are going to be shifting quite majorly now. Especially a kind of a Shakti which has a rotating pattern, which also means, of course, that tornadoes will occur perhaps more frequently at this time. Any circular pattern becomes changed to some extent. So the second pointer is, well, watch those energies. You can learn a lot from them. Thank you for subscribing to our channel, visiting creatorschild.com, and growing with God.